Hello everyone, my name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, we recently talked about Luka Doncic and the transformation that he's going through at the moment, and I'm very, very happy for him. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to talk about the one and only Luka Doncic. Again, we're going to talk about him again, ladies and gentlemen, because he recently signed an extension with the Los Angeles Lakers, and when you think of superstar, MVP, quality players, you're thinking they're going to get the largest sum possible. They're going for the biggest money possible, and that's really about it. Maybe if it's also the years as well, 3, 4, 5 years. Well, ladies and gentlemen, he did sign for a lot of money. Ridiculous money, of course. But it wasn't exactly for the longest amount of years. And this is where things get a little bit interesting. The Lakers might be showing a little bit of loyalty to Luka Doncic here. So let's discuss it. Before we get any further though, if you liked the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know what you guys think about Luka Doncic, I guess, committing to the Lakers for 3 years and $165 million overall. It's a lot of money. And it is a lot of years, in my opinion. 3 years is a good chunk of years as well. But the first thing I want to say is this could have been the Dallas Mavericks. This could have been the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, Dallas didn't want to give Luka the Supermax, in my opinion. I think that's probably why they traded him in the end. But we'll see what Dallas turns out to be. I don't want to just be mocking Dallas every time I make a Luka Doncic video. But this should have been Dallas, is what I'm trying to say. But the Lakers are showing a little bit of loyalty to Luka Doncic here. Let me tell you why. Firstly, we need to break down, because math is very complicated, what 165 million divided by 3 years is, so we can fully understand how much he's making. 55 million per season, so a large amount. I'm pretty sure that is a max contract for what 3 years is at this point in the NBA thus far. But the reason why the loyalty's been shown is because I believe within those 3 years, if certain requirements are met, Luka Doncic would be available for the Supermax contract once again. So in 3 years' time, he could sign with the Lakers for 5 years and a Supermax contract. That is, of course, assuming requirements are met. I think it's like the All-NBA, maybe All-Star playoffs, whatever the requirements are. I don't even know what they are, but that's what it really comes down to here. So the Lakers are giving Luka Doncic the opportunity to meet requirements and to become a Supermax player. Now, if you're an organization and you're thinking, okay, what's the best way to save money? What's the best way to kind of push the organization into a better direction? You probably don't want Luka Doncic on that Supermax. You'd probably rather take him on a 5-year max contract, because he's a max contract worthy player for sure. He's a Supermax contract worthy player. But if you could get a Supermax worthy on a max contract, you save yourself a little bit of money. And I think that makes sense for everybody, right? But the Lakers are kind of ignoring certain things like that. Maybe it was talked about and discussed in their negotiations, and they both came to the agreement that, okay, maybe this is the best place for Luka to be for the next 3 years. 165 million is the best price for the next 3 years. And if he does what he needs to do, and if he shows what he's all about, then it's time for the Lakers to make that decision in 3 years' time. So, you know, I actually commend the Lakers for this, because I don't think there are many organizations that, I mean, for Luka maybe, but if this was, you know, another guy asking for a Supermax or something along those lines, even if they're worthy of it, I don't know if many organizations would actually be doing that, in all honesty. But the Lakers did. They showed class in this negotiation, in my opinion, and I think they should be commended for that. And for Luka Doncic, I think this is the best situation for him. This is going to give him the best chance to make the most money possible out of his NBA career, because he's going to be an All-NBA player. Unless there's injuries involved, God forbid, we don't want any injuries to anyone. Unless there's injuries involved, Luka is too talented not to be an All-NBA player. He's too talented not to be in the NBA playoff conversations. The guy is him, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So this will give him the best chance to make the most money possible. However, I think there is a little bit of a downside to this, and that is it gives the Lakers 3 years to figure out if Luka's going to be the future of their franchise. Normally, I wouldn't even have this conversation with the Lakers, because they know how to make stars and they know how to get stars. They've always been a team, ever since I've seen them, in my lifetime, from Shaq to Kobe to LeBron James, now to Luka Doncic, and obviously in the past with guys like Kareem, they've always been able to attract superstars into their organization. They're a historic franchise, one of the most historic in the NBA. They know what they're doing, and they've always known what they're doing. So it gives them 3 years to assess the situation and how much success they may have, how much Luka truly impacts their winning ways, and whether or not they could get players to come into the Lakers to play with Luka Doncic. These are very big conversations that they can have internally. And if they find that things are not going the way that they intended, if they find that maybe they feel like Luka on a Supermax will actually hurt their franchise, signing for 3 years might benefit them because they won't be able to... They might be able to just say move on and go to a different team afterwards. Or maybe they do a trade like the Dallas Mavericks did. So it does work out for the Lakers on both ends, in my opinion. And I do think this works out for Luka because more likely than not, he is going to show what he's all about. And he's going to get a Supermax contract at the end of this. More often than not. I would put a bet on that if I was to do betting. I don't bet. But if I was to bet, I would bet on Luka eventually getting a Supermax from the Lakers. So... he's betting on himself, the Lakers are betting on him, and this is all around a really positive sign for both parties. And again, it shows the loyalty to Luka that Dallas did not show. So let that be a lesson. Sometimes loyalty does pay off, and we'll see if the Lakers could be the example of that. Anyway, I guess that's me today. That's just needed to talk about Luka just a little bit more. Thank you for watching, though, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care. And peace.